There's also an element of this that's like tableside talk, especially from a chef going to a table.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are here with another episode of Frieren. Why don't you go ahead and remind us first what happened last time before we do anything else?
Absolutely. Last time was the continuation of a whole bunch of fights that lasted a couple of episodes, but the two major fights that we saw was Frieren versus Denkin resolving, and hold on, I'm actually using the material documented. Lonnie and Canine? No, Can. Okay, yeah. And then Lonnie and Can against Richter, which Richter, if you can't guess his powers by the name, he does stuff with Earth. And it was very much a point of Frieren, again, is being shown to be hella powerful. Because Denkin was just like, oh damn, this girl is strong. I need to go all out. There was a fire hurricane. There was a whole bunch of crazy effects where Frieren just put up a bubble and was like, huh, you're funny. Counterattack. Bang. And then, probably the most impressive piece of magic the entire show came, which was dropping this impossible to be damaged barrier. And in order to allow Rainin, to allow our water mage to be like, bye-bye, Mr. Earth Mage. And then the most powerful magic of all, an uppercut, won the day for Denkin and his group, because they would have been out.
I mean, it's the best move so far. It's my favorite magic.
It's a good move, too.
I say that, it's not my favorite magic. I'm being hyperbolic here. Well, because otherwise people say, oh, then you should watch Mashley, or whatever the heck that one's called. The world where everyone's a magician, but this guy is like the guy who works out all the time. Sorry. While you were doing that, I was thrown by an early thing that you said. Oh, and his name's Richter, so you know what he's about. And my thought was going, yeah, isn't there another definition for Richter that's like something like teacher, or I'm thinking of a different word that sounds like Richter.
Possibly?
It's just, Richter is a German surname that means judge. So maybe I'm just thinking of that.
That, like, that would also play into his sort of attitude, because he is very judgmental in the way that he deals with people.
I don't know. I just kind of. I don't think I'm thinking of surname, because I don't think I would know that surname just off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure there's like something I've watched maybe, or something I've read, that Richter is also the name of a position of somebody who's like in charge of teaching or something.
Oh, it completely sounds like it would be, too.
I don't know.
But I believe we're down to 15 people left in the competition.
Well, I mean, since you're talking about that, let's go ahead and just go over to the board then real quick.
It's either that or 15 teams, but I think it's 15 people.
I think I also, on the note of somebody on the Discord, added craft to the distant past. Considering, we got the statues from the distant past where Craft was a hero, so. And I don't remember if I had them here before, but Siri is also there in the distant past. And of course, their lines travel all the way to the present, where Siri's still here. Don't think I've connected them to Frieren at all, because I don't think they have a current relationship. They obviously knew each other.
They've met, but...
Well, yeah, they knew each other in the distant past. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have a current relationship, though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Otherwise, attached all the names that we learned to the people, so no longer question marks, except for this guy who hasn't shown up again yet.
Yep.
the red lines for people who fought each other. Nobody's actually dead, so unnecessary. Laufen didn't actually fight anybody, except for maybe the encounter with Frieren, but, didn't actually fight.
Yeah, Laufen doesn't seem like she's gonna, like, I don't know what to expect from her actually trying to go for the kill.
I don't know, she gives me like a 10-10 vibe from Naruto, which, I don't know, maybe a commenter will one day explain to you, but...
We'll see.
And of course, Richter, from that team, fought 2 people, so... Otherwise, I guess there's still room here for it. Obviously, I can't remember what the math was from before, but there's a certain number of people left that we've seen their faces. Like the camera has
Correct.
panned over them before where they've been doing stuff, but we haven't heard them talk. We don't know who they are, what they're about. So I haven't done any work about getting them on here. So if they're introduced as actual characters this episode, they'll get added to the board. Otherwise, I think the only other stuff here is, the proctor for the first exam, or whatever he was called.
Yep.
Genu here, talking with Falsh and Sense when, as you mentioned, the dome gets destroyed.
They also labeled Frieren as a target.
Yep.
Which doesn't seem important yet.
I mean, it's important to know.
It's important to know. It's a clear indicator of something fishy going on.
And of course, I've also tied them to Siri because it seems like they're working for them. So
1,000,000%. Even if not intentionally, they work through the same organization.
Now, in the moment now, cannot remember. I think Sense is working the second test.
Yes.
And Falsh would then, I guess, be doing a third test.
That's my guess, but...
Unless he's just an observer. In which case, it's weird. You think Sense would be the observer if there was just an observer?
You would think so. But Sense also seemed to, be the one who raised the birds or something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember anything about that.
Well, because the birds that apparently avoid all magical people were coming and landing on her.
Sure. I mean, I guess that is a read.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything from that. I just, maybe she's just the nature person. Alright, well, that is the board. And we do actually have 2 comments.
Hell yeah.
First up, from Kelvin Cawthorne from the Patreon, the episode Necessary Killing. I'm actually not sure if Aerie is the childhood friend. My own opinion is she's not, because in her flashback she looked like a child when saved by an adult Wrapup. So that wouldn't line up, but I could be wrong. And actually, I didn't write this down, but I have the thing open. Yumizu actually also responded to that on the Patreon. No, you are correct. Aerie is not the childhood friend. Wrapup is in his mid-30s and Aerie is 18, or so according to the manga. He saved her from demons when she was a child, and he was already an adult, but it's easy to miss. Well, I mean, my correction to that is it's easy to miss if you read the manga and know everyone's ages. In my eyes, if you're watching an anime where a child could be 1,000 years old and an adult could be 10, who the hell knows?
What I'm hearing from that is my hunch was correct.
I mean, you don't have to say hunch. If you literally got 2 people saying, I think you're wrong, Theta, then the other side of the argument is, we think Justin might be right.
It's true.
But yeah, like I said, if the manga is giving out ages...
watching it, and the energy it was giving wasn't childhood friend. It was more of like, oh, look at this person saving us.
Yeah, but you were focusing your attention on a different moment of the scene than I was.
Correct.
You were focusing on her on the ground and him standing up heroically in front of her. I was focusing on her on his back, saying, "Oh, you idiot," to him like that. It's like, that seems like a connection. Like a connection that's more than just we're teammates in this one thing.
And I could see how that connection could be made to lead to such a conclusion.
Look,
it's not out of left field.
I'm just waiting for the convoluted storyline where it turns out that she is actually 30, but then had some sort of magic spell cast on her that de-aged her for a little bit, and now you don't recognize me anymore, sort of thing. Look, anything is possible in anime. Second comment, though. Also, Kelvin Cawthon from the Patreon, episode The World of Magic. The best part of this first stage of the exam is motherfucking Denkin being an absolute unit and uppercutting some random schmuck.
It's true. It's taking advantage of the situation because you know most of these people have never thrown a punch in their life.
Like I said, we had a conversation before we started recording talking about literally Denkin and his uppercut. Because, you know, he is the one introduced as the Imperial Mage who through blood and sweat got to where he needed to be.
Yep.
And I think even during the episode where they're showing him as a young man, like earning everyone's friggin' respect, it's like, it's crazy showing how long he's been at this. That he just goes from, like, somebody who looks like Sign's age and demeanor to this old, grizzled man who, by the way, still has all the same feelings about magic that Frieren has.
Yes.
I'm not here to get the spell that I want. I'm here for the position. The joy of magic is discovering magic.
Exactly, which I'm a big fan of that part of him, which is why I think when it comes down to one-on-one fights, I think Fern is going to have to fight Denkin, not Frieren. I think we've seen the end of those of Frieren and Denkin fighting each other.
I'm pretty sure you said last time you thought it was coming down to Fern versus Frieren.
Oh no, so I think it's coming down to Fern versus Frieren. But I think in the build-up to that, we're going to get Denkin versus Fern.
So you think Fern is going to beat Denkin?
Yes.
Like I said, I wish if this was going... This is going the route of Chunin exams in my eyes. And I wish that if it was going that way, that we would get the Chunin exam thing where they do a whole bracket of you're going to fight this person, you're going to fight this person, ahead of the episodes where it happens, so that you and me can just do like a whole breakdown of, you know, here's our gamble. I'm betting this person's gonna be this person, and we can just do like a whole score system at the end, see who wins.
Yeah, so I think even if we get one mid-episode, I'm cool with a pause and then us just like briefly writing down and making calls.
Sure. If that happens. At the same time, though, I would cut that out so that the episode would be completely running straight free, and then we would include it at the end so that if the battle did happen, we could
1,000,000%.
People would know that we also didn't just fake it. Like, aha, we were both right. Aha, you know. Nope, we did that absolutely. Halfway in. So yeah, if they do a bracket, because again, this has been shooting exams the whole way through. Forest to Death arc, everything. I think that'd be fun. Any other thoughts going into this episode?
No, let's get it.
All right, let's go ahead and just jump on into it then.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Right, those two people.
6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't that far off.
6 more people to add to the board eventually.
Yep.
I didn't even clock their names for as long as they were on the screen. It's just I saw 3 new names, like, okay, that's the new people.
Yeah.
I also think it's funny that they kept them in. Well, I guess they do have the bracelets with the numbers on them.
Yep.
So like it's funny that they're going like what first team, fourth team, eighth team. It's
Hold
like,
on.
they're not just recontextualizing them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If they're keeping those bracelets, this next trend could be 1v1v1.
No, I mean that's what we were talking about. I thought that's what we were talking about.
No, so if that's the case, then my prediction initially of getting Fern versus Denkin doesn't make sense.
No, it does.
It wouldn't come this round then.
No, if they're doing 1v1s, it would come this round.
No, so what I'm saying, if they're keeping the bracelet numbers mattering, I'm talking 1v1v1, which is basically take the team.
No, there's too many teams. You would be talking about 5v1s.
No, because it would be
or
6
however
rounds
many teams there are, rather.
It would be 6 different combats of 3 people.
It's either going to be 1v1s versus everybody, or it's going to be however many teams there are, 3 rounds of one free-for-alls.
Yep.
And I'm leaning towards 1v1s. Or we could just get a Stark episode.
夕方か。だらだらするのも悪くはないな。
So actually, I think last episode we did end with Stark at a bar or something. Just drinking,
Maybe?
showing us he's still around.
Yes.
なんだ
That's someone knocking at your door, Stark. If this is Stark truly actually like taking a rest from all the exercise he's been doing, I think so.
But he had his shoes on.
Stark would be set up to be jacked after the everything he's been through, because his body would actually be resting.
寝てたでしょ。夜更かししたの。
It's crazy that they were implying he was putting his pants on. But he was wearing his shoes in bed.
ごめんってば。
怒らせちゃった。フリーレン様もさっき起きたばかりですよね。飛び火した。こりゃ今日はフェルンのご機嫌取りだね。
どうするつもりだよ。
美味しいものでも食べに行こうか。
美味しいもの？
ちょっと高いけど、前にヒンメルたちと来た時にいい店を見つけた。
I guess maybe we're just gonna get another normal day episode. Kind of a cool down.
It wouldn't surprise me based off the Future Enemies title.
Oh, that surprised me. Sorry, it is coming down hard where I'm living. And I thought that was in the show. I was like, what is that? What is happening that no one's responding to?
明かりがついたわ。
すぐ治るって言っただろ。
いつもありがとうね、リヒター。
あ、
そうだ。
So Richter lives around here?
Yeah.
それじゃあね。
おいばあちゃん、もうガキじゃないんだ。いい年したおっさんだぜ。
私みたいな年寄りから見たら子供のままさ。好きだったろ、それ。
That's your grandma, man. You're gonna forever be a kid.
I mean, I guess it's just perspective, right? Because we did the whole thing with Frieren not treating Stark and Fern as children too.
Yeah.
イカれたじいさんに殴り合いの喧嘩をやらされたものでな。体を休めないといけないんだ。
それは災難だったな、リヒター。なら飯でも一緒にどうだ。探している店があるのだが、わしとラオヘンでは。
It's another case of Denkin and Frieren acting the same.
そもそもラオヘン。
Yep.
なぜデンケン
Oh, I think we might see the mass of the competitors all eating at the same place. Like a slice of life episode between people who are going to have to fight each other.
処世術がなっておらんな。 魔法使いとして生きていくのなら、わしの機嫌は取っておいて損はないぞ。
飯屋なんかいくらでもある。適当に入れ。
妻と生前妻と一緒に行った店でな。その味が忘れられん。
おごりだろうな。
当たり前だ。言っただろう。損はさせん。
We're not a party anymore. God damn it, you're gonna be my party member.
You're my friend.
So land is one we barely know anything about.
Yeah.
世間話なら歩きながらでもいいかな。
いいけどさ、走って逃げたりしたら殺しちゃうかも。
一つ質問いいかな。
ん？
君ってさ、人を殺すことを何とも思ってないでしょ。なんでビアベルを殺さなかったの？殺すチャンスあったでしょ。
見てたんだ。油断も隙もないね。
I don't know. I think Wrapup could take her.
難しい表現なんだけど
Yeah.
驚いたよ。とうに両手は血で染まっているのに、まだ人間でありたいと思っている。
Unless they're implying she wasn't really trapped by this.
Oh no, so she was, but once she got the upper hand, she could have taken him out.
No, remember he said, if you try and stab me in the back, then I will have a reason to kill you.
Yes, but
Implying that he also knew what was going on.
これは
ソルガニール。見たものを拘束する魔法。
Okay, she's one of those.
その人が得意とする魔法は人生や人間性に大きく関わってい
The
る。
trope of anime is having somebody who can just copy powers
私
on
は
sight.
昔からそうなんだ。
yeah.
共感できることでその魔法が使えるようになるし、共感できない魔法は使えない。メガネ君、君の分身は本人と同一の機能を持つほどの完璧な複製だ。君は何を思ってどんな人生を歩んできたの？教えてよ。
なるほどね。君って感覚で魔法を使うタイプなんだ。その魔法がどんな原理で動いている
Even
の
though
か
he
も
said
知らず
it's
に
not,
その
I
まま
wouldn't be
使っちゃう
surprised
タイ
to
プ
find out it actually was a clone. And he's not there.
僕、そういう頭の足りない子嫌いなんだよね。
答えになっていないよ。
気に食わないから教えてやんないって言ってるんだよ。別に僕を殺したっていいよ。そんなことをしたら二度と共感はできないと思うけど。
I do like the duality of her
いいよ。
ability, though.
君という人間が少し分かった
It's
気
true.
が
That
す
she
る。
doesn't, like, give a shit and about killing people. But at the same time, her power requires that she does empathize with people.
これからどこに
You
行
really
く
gotta
つもり
work
だった
against
の？
yourself to get more
さあね。
powerful.
ついてくるなよ。
ここだ。
目の付けどころが良かったな、デンケン。ここはこ
It's
の
a
町
shame
で
it
一
took
番
you
うまい
forever
店
to
だ。
get here.
俺もよく来る。
Yeah.
妻とここを訪れたのは50年も前だが、当時の雰囲気のままだ。
Showed us like 50-year
不
jumps.
思議なものだな。
本当ですか？本当にデザートいくらでも頼んでいいんですか？いいよ。
デンケン、フリーレンだ。
どれにすっかな。
おすすめはね、誕生日でもないのにこんな贅沢を。
放っておけ。楽しそうではないか。食事は楽し
I mean, if you
み
didn't
です。
consider yourself part of that
わしら
team,
もそのために来た。
Richter, then why would you care about what another team of people is doing?
True. Jesus.
Somebody went to friendlies.
2 of them are gonna have an upset stomach. One of them should be okay.
家宝の包丁を魔族から取り戻してくださりありがとうございます。この世紀の天才料理人レッカーが最大限のもてなしと可能な限りの報酬をお渡ししましょう。
すごい量ですね。
ここの料理は美味しいからね。
Oh man, if Lecker is still alive in the present day, he is gonna be ancient.
Yeah.
そう思って二度と食べられなくなった味がたくさんあるからね。
If he is, I want him to be in a mentorship role to a different chef.
フリーレン様。当店の味は後世まで残すつもりです。100年後も。
Yeah, because future generations.
そう、面白いよね。料理人は皆そう言う。そう言って過去の料理の味を変えて爪痕を残そうとする。
Ouch. I guess this speaks to you more than it does to me, though.
She's not wrong.
お言葉ですが、ヒンメル様。私を超える味などこの世にありませんよ。
ならしっかり未来まで届けるんだ。それが僕が要求する今回の報酬で。
There's also an element of this that's like tableside talk, especially from a chef going to a table.
Well, I mean, he promised to do what no chef has done before.
こんなに幸せでいいのでしょうか。なんだよ。 あれだけ意気込んでおいて味変わってるじゃん。でももっと美味しい味を探す手間は省けた。あの時よりもずっと美味しい。
So I guess both a failure and a win.
Yep.
本当に美味しいな。
頬についてますよ、シュタルク様。
野菜も食べんといかんぞ。
完全におじいちゃんじゃねえか。
Oh, I love Denkin.
いいだろ別に。
美味しかったですね、フリーレン様。
Guess that they didn't cross paths, though.
Yeah.
ところで、
Of course she looks happier. She's having a sugar high.
これぞ無の境地。 よくぞ部の真髄までたどり着いた。お主に教えることはもう何もない。
あのおじいさん誰？
知らない人。なんか修行してると話しかけてくるの。
シュタルクって変な人に好かれるよね。 まあいいや。ちょっといい？力を借りたいんだけれども。
Somebody who's just gonna be a traveler, just keep saying random things to people who walk past.
Yeah.
むちゃくちゃ怒ってる。昨日より機嫌悪いじゃねえか。何やった？
Could it be the fact that all she ate was sugar?
買い出し当番私だったのに寝坊しちゃったから。
そんなのいつものことだろう。なんで今さら。
フェルンは積もりに積もって爆発するタイプなんだよ。
爆発したらどうなるんだ？
口を聞いてくれなくなっちゃう。
子供の喧嘩かよ。
お願いだよ。
I mean, seriously, it seems like the best way to deal with, well, not the best way. Probably the way I would deal with it would just be to leave and not come back. I don't mean like forever, I just mean like for the day. How long is she really gonna pout at the window by herself if she doesn't think anybody else is paying attention?
Yeah.
フェルンさん、本人もこうして反省しているわけですし。
食べたい。
え？
おやつ食べたい。
And now you've also reinforced the fact that if you get her upset, she knows that she can get rewarded.
Yep.
お、 あれ、あいつ
Verbal.
確か北部魔法隊のビアベルだっけ。
Spot him at a distance.
お前戦士だろ。ちょっと何ですか。どうだ。何。ダメだな、こいつじゃ。
For a sparring partner?
何やってんだろう。
I think he's walking around inspecting people to possibly recruit.
いつにも
Well, no, he would need a mage, not just a warrior.
兄貴たちがテートから帰ってきてんだよ。
I imagine his troops would be both.
毎回余計なもの買ってきやがって。
His troops are mercenaries.
私は着せ替え
That's what I mean.
I don't know. I think. I don't know. It could be anything.
私より甘やかされてんじゃん。そう思うなら変わってくれよ。優秀な兄貴たちと比べられるのは地獄だぜ。ほら行くぞ。息が詰まりそうだ。じゃあ今日は私がエスコートするね、ダビーナちゃん。
Getting slapped in the head with a purse. Oh, that way. I didn't think she was gonna get her dress dirty.
She didn't. She used her friend's body as cover.
Frieren さん、どれにしましょうか。
別にどれでも。シュタルク様、選んでいいですよ。
So she wanted snacks, and they went and bought bread.
Bread can be a good snack.
私に聞かれても困るよ。あれ、フリーレンじゃねえか。
I guess most people just don't realize who's Frieren's party.
Yeah.
They're always just pointing her out.
誰なの。
一次試験で同じパーティーだった子たちだよ。フリーレンにはたくさん助けてもらったんだよ。あとね、先生みたいだった。二人が喧嘩するせいでね。ラビーネが悪い。
女の子ばっかりで居心地悪いな。
I was just thinking they're all around Stark's age.
戦士だろ。ちょっと。
This is the second time this has happened to Stark.
何。
Yeah.
お前すごくいいな。なんなの。大陸魔法協会から農作物を荒らすフレッサーの討伐依頼を受けていてな、前衛を探していたんだ。試験であったな。こいつお前の仲間か。借りたっていい。
どうぞ。
ひど
い。連れてかれちゃったけどいいの？大丈夫でしょう。害が全くありませんでした。同じ人物とは思えないほどに。仕事でオンオフ切り替えるタイプなんじゃねえの？兄貴たちもそうだ。
To be fair, Stark said he was not comfortable hanging out with a bunch of girls anyway.
Yep.
お礼なんてもらうようなことしてないよ。いや。
I would say Stark's going off to do what he enjoys, but we know Stark is also terrified when he's fighting.
ありがとう。
Yeah.
ありがとう。ヒンメル様。
Okay, just every little girl looks like Aerie to me now.
さあ、パパとママが待ってるよ。
ヒンメルはなんで人助けをするの？
勇者だからさ。
そういうことじゃなくて。
そうだね。もしかしたら自分のためかもな。
So she could also be the herbalist girl.
誰かに少しでも自分
It's very
の
much
ことを覚えて
possible.
いてもらいたいのかもしれない。生きているということは誰かに知ってもらって覚えていてもらうことだ。
覚えていてもらうためにはどうすればいいんだろう。
ほんの少しでいい。誰かの人生を変えてあげればいい。きっとそれだけで十分なんだ。
Either that or do something absolutely horrible. Then you'll be remembered forever.
Both true. Both are true.
It's true. One option is clearly better, though.
I mean, there's no real difference between being famous and being infamous.
このもらったお菓子めちゃくちゃ美味しいですよ。やっと機嫌治った。そういえばフリーレン、2日目の朝なかなか起きなかったな。その話はやめて、また機嫌が悪くなっちゃう。フリーレン、1級試験は例年通りなら第3次試験まである。次からは
Hello, my name is Exposition.
そうだね。
Clunk.
なんだろう。次の試験の通知ですね。第二次試験の会場と日時、それと担当の試験官の名前ですね。試験官は前世か。ついてねえな。せっかく第一次試験に受かったのに。どういうことですか？前世の担当した試験は過去4回。いずれも合格者は0人だ。
They have mentioned before there have been entire testing things where no one's passed. Stop trying to be empathetic with him.
Yep. That mustache.
肉うまいな。お前すげえな。部の真髄を見たぜ。
We're still at the point where I can't tell what Starkey can or cannot take down by himself. Size doesn't mean anything, as Yoda once said.
平和主義者だよ。ゲナウとは違ってね。
That didn't mean anything. I'm a pacifist, unlike you. I mean, my only read into that is to imply what she's going to judge people based on, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess calling somebody not a pacifist in like a fantasy world like this, where people get into fights all the time, doesn't imply much about the person who's not a pacifist.
Yeah, well, it also depends on how far they're pushing the definition of pacifist, right? Because the best example of that is the can't think of what the order is, but it's one of the newer paladins in D&D.
I was gonna say Order 66.
No, Order 66 was not a pacifist order.
Sure it is. Kill all the people you think are going to be killers.
But there's specifically a paladin that doesn't get armor, doesn't get armor.
Yeah, I think they get sanctuary, right?
But they get like all stuff about like peace and stuff. And if someone is violent against them or one of their allies, then they can use their abilities to.
I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I literally played a pacifist in Lessons game, or I tried to, and then realized it was completely unable to be played in the campaign we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
こんなものがいるだなんてね。
Oh.
恐ろしいほどの脅威になりますね。第二次試験はダンジョン攻略だ。
Okay, so no bracket.
Yep, does not seem like a bracket.
Also a mimic, which means Frieren's going into the mouth.
Yep, Frieren's getting stuck.
No, I was just thinking that we had on this channel watched the second season of Vinland Saga, which is where the main character goes from having a whole revenge arc about the person who he thinks is responsible for his dad's death into being captured for a crime and turned into a slave on a farm, and then coming up with this whole mentality of, well, basically pacifism, like you have no enemies sort of thing, where he's more than willing to let somebody beat the shit out of him if it lets him accomplish his goal without having to fight anybody. So he goes from like a great fighter to somebody who refuses to fight.
And that is another thing about, like, in a world where violence is that active, pacifism isn't a outright refusal to fight.
Well, Vinland Saga literally takes place during a real historical period. It's
yes.
It's God, I can't remember. It's during the Viking period, but it takes place during actual real world events.
Okay, so I think the same thing would apply then.
I don't know. I obviously do not fall on any good side. Everyone hated my takes about how stupid this was to be a pacifist in this world, this very real world, because we know that none of his ideas work out. So it's like literally opening a history book and reading about somebody who had an idea and then they failed to do it, and then mocking them. People don't like that when you do that.
Well, because if you look at what true pacifism is in a world that is like openly violent around you, the refusal to fight is just being stupid. The pacifism is you're only going to fight and take out the people who you know are going to be that damaging to the world and those that you're trying to protect. It's that idea where you have the line where you give everyone the opportunity to adjust their ways and try and help them. But if they are beyond that point, that's where you have to go, okay.
I think in Vinland Saga, I finally fell off of that whole thing when he wants to talk to the king, and he's surrounded by people who are just laughing at him and whatnot, and he says, "Sure, I'll let you see the king if you can survive 100." Or they make a gamble bet between all of them. How many punches can I hit before this guy dies? From a guy called the Bear Killer, and he's like 100 punches, right? And then the main character's like, okay. And it's like, any one punch can kill you if it hits you the wrong way. And this guy just punches him 100 fucking times to the point where he's almost completely unrecognizable from the face. And this is dumb. The only reason why this works is because you're the main character of an anime.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe, I can't remember his name, the main character from Princess Mononoke. His whole thing is to see a world unshrouded by hate.
Yep.
Where he does fight, but he only fights when necessary and not to inflict harm. He always tries to back down the situation before anything. And then when he does fight people, it usually knocks them out if he has to. So I know this move means nothing out of context. I'm just imagining the scene where he knocks out 2 women with the hilt of his sword who are about to cause an entire village to go into combat. And he's like, somebody take this woman from me. Because he doesn't want... These are all people that were friendly to him before, but suddenly now see him as a villain because he knocked out their leader.
Yeah. To me, that isn't at all pacifism, because if by that definition, Batman would be a pacifist, which is not true whatsoever.
Well, Batman also kills people, apparently, so...
Depends on the version of Batman you're watching.
Well, if he's from the main continuity, he also kills... Look, I don't know. I am a Superman fan, not a Batman fan. And I think that only comes down to being a Superman fan, not a Batman fan, because people are too antagonistic about which side you fall on. So, it's like having your favorite sports team at this point.
Yeah.
You can't really be a fan of both, otherwise people will hate you for just,
Yeah.
So.
See, you need both in order to make either of them likable by a person.
I don't think you do. I mean, ultimately, the Flash is better than either of them. The Flash takes care of his villains on, a mental level.
Yes.
And, he has a good social life.
1,000,000%.
He is a more well-rounded person, and he handles his villains with care, versus... I'm not going to get into this whole thing. This isn't even a debate. It's just
We'll cut it off here.
Yeah, it just would take forever.
But I appreciated this slice of life episode, and the fact that it showed setup for what we're going into.
Yeah, I mean, 23 through 28 Still have more tests to go through.
Yeah.
We met back up with Stark. It's been like, what, 2 episodes now? Not including the drinking scene at the end of last episode.
Actually, no, it's been 3, I think.
It's been a while. Like, we lost Stark the moment we entered town.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what else? I guess we didn't need to see... Oh, never mind. I was trying to think who was missing, and then realized, wait, that's Fern. We've been with Fern.
Yeah.
Because we were with Ubel and Land, and I'm like, well, we didn't see who their third-party member was doing. It's fucking Fern. That's why we've been with her the whole time.
Ubel and Land wasn't their third-party member?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why it was so weird that we saw Ubel was paired up with Fern, because we thought Ubel was a killer. Well, she is a killer, but we thought she was more of a killer back then. Though this is going to turn out bad for Fern. Who else? Well, I guess we're missing... Who was Werbel's third? The flower guy?
Yeah?
So... No, wait.
No.
Sorry, let's go back to the board real quick. I think this is less of a theoretical question. Oh yeah, okay, now Sharf was the flower guy.
Excuse you.
So Eerie was the one that was missing, and we know that she was hanging out with birds, apparently.
Yeah.
So Werble and Sharf did not think that Eerie was a good match to go hunt a thing in the woods. Otherwise, I don't think anybody else was missing, because, you know, Lonnie and Connie are hanging out together, and they meet up with Frieren. Ubel and Land are hanging out together. They don't meet up with Fern, because they don't give a shit. Ubel's on her own thing, trying to make Land empathetic, or vice versa. These 3 had to, you know, Richter had to get corralled into their thing.
Richter's like, I don't care about you. I'm share food.
Alright, so Eerie was the only one missing out, and then we saw a bunch of clips of all the other groups who have yet to be added to the board and won't be until after episode 25.
Exactly.
So people might be dead by the time we beat them on the board.
It's true.
Alright, well, any other thoughts about the episode?
Nah, that's it.
Alright then. I think we should go ahead and get into the very last of the magical shorts.
It's true.
Much like Stark getting out of bed.
I love it.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and get into that one then.
It's
like 10 seconds shorter than normal.
服の汚れをきれいさっぱり落とす魔法。フェルン、ゼ
The
ーリー
most
がよくぞあの魔
useful
法を手
spell.
に入れたね。偉いよ。どんな汚れも落ちるっていうのがすごいですよね。さすが伝説級。ああ、やっちゃった。
I mean, it does explain
任せてください。
all these people wearing white all the time.
Yeah.
さすが。
すげえ、本当に綺麗さっぱり落ちてるぜ。よーし。ほら、ちょっと森の中に行ってきた。フェルン、魔法頼む。
嫌です。わざと汚すような人には使いません。
そんな。
ガキだね、シュタルク。
This smug look on Frieren's face.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I understand it. Stark thinks, bro, we're having fun. Let me go. But anyone, I guess, who knew Fern knew that that wasn't happening.
Indeed. That's the ultimate mom spell right there.
I wonder when you were supposed to be watching these. Before we were getting that little end card that showed like all the team members and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it seems funny that we're going into the second round of the magic testing, where the I think it was Lonnie that said, "Oh, next time we see each other, we're going to be enemies," and that we're watching these in such an order that we've just finished the second test, and now we don't have the teams anymore on the end of the magic short because they're not in those teams, I guess.
Yeah. So it seems like we hit it at the perfect time.
I guess. I mean, We watched the ones with Sign in them when Sign was in the party.
Yep.
And, yeah. Not planned out. We just did this at a random order. We discovered that they existed. Started watching them when we discovered that they existed. Worked out.
Exactly.
All right. Any final thoughts here?
Nice little break from the standard that we've been seeing.
All right then. I guess I just appreciated mostly the Himmel appearance again. You know, why do you do what you do, Himmel?
Exactly.
All right, well, I think that is it for this episode. Once again, I have been Theta, this has been Justin, we've been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?